What's good, man? It's OG Drill, man. Today, man, we're going to be talking about a lot of different things because when it comes to prejudging, when it comes down to, being on the same level or someone bringing you down to their level, especially if you have ascended somewhere where they want to be at and they don't necessarily know how to get there and they necessarily don't want to experience how you got there, it get real deep because when we just say those words, like it's used so frequently that you don't think that it has that much power behind it. But that just show you the energy, the vibe that it puts you in where someone else has already experienced that so many times that it's just that frequent, right? So when it come down to saying like dropping to somebody's level or somebody bring you down to their level or something like that, sometimes you have a point, right, where you're probably thinking more positive than negative. You're probably the type of person that, don't want to too much to be around individuals that think negative or always got a negative way of seeing something, especially if you feel what I'm saying, you spiritual enough to even come to this channel because it get deep. When we dealing with people, right, you got to think about it, man. When somebody scoots you to their level, they basically get you where they wanted you at from the beginning. So no matter if you don't have whatever problem it is, they're going to play it out that they could get you to look at it like this the problem. So they could go ahead and whatever they prejudge, they could go ahead and make you guilty of it. So you're already guilty before innocent. But now they just want to take you through court and give you trials and tribulations through it. So now they put in juries, which is looking at the things that you did in other areas and trying to take those things. And they're appointing juries that's completely biased towards their decision. And it's kind of crazy because you might think of it physical, but nah, I'm talking straight mental shit, right? Where a motherfucker will sit there and like literally because they see you to a certain degree, they'll bring you down to that light, bring you down to that level of how they see you because they look below you or they look down on you. So a lot of times people like that, they be secret haters, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, they be so crazy to try to bring you down to their level. Once you stop doing that type of shit, they realize, yo, this person is out my league. So they have to go somewhere else. It's like you trying to play college basketball, high school basketball the same way you play NBA. You like, nah, this ain't the same game. I gotta switch up the game profile. I gotta either go harder or switch the whole game. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they already don't want to go harder because they already don't want to experience what you had to go do to get to the level that you're on. So at the end of the day, that's when these people like to try to take you down and take the things that you do for granted. So we got to watch these type of things because you could sit there, right? Just say, for instance, if a person say you got a talking problem, right? Where now, even if you ain't about to talk long or even if you ain't about to talk about something in general, the person already got this way of already attacking you, especially like a lot of times where when you deal with these individuals, they try to beat you mad or beat you to the punch. So then when they beat you there, they can try to get you to come there. And it sounds crazy, but it's like all time like little weak mental tricks and manipulation and shit like that. Instead of them doing it for a actual purpose or understanding like, okay, if this person had these gifts and talents, let me not hate. Let me participate. Let me try to build up to get to their level. Not let me bring somebody down to hell with me due to, misery love company. Shit like that. So when we say these things, now we can see, oh, somebody could drag you to hell, but they can't bring you to heaven with them. So then after that, they say things like that. So it kind of confuses things. But at the same time, when you have someone around you trying to give you higher ways of thinking, it's up to you at the end of the day. Just like they say, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink it. However, that's some country shit from the South, I always said. So some people that's probably up north probably not familiar with that. But that's basically saying you could give someone the information. You could give someone all you can. And at the end of the day, if they don't take it or they don't accept it for what you're actually giving it to them for, hey, you doing it all for nothing. You feel what I'm saying? Because sometimes you could be sitting here doing all you can for a person, trying to change yourself to even better another person, right? And then they can still sit there and be like, yo, oh, I don't want that no more, or I don't want you no more. So it's stuff like that where we got to pay attention where getting someone down or someone talking down or bringing yourself down to someone level, it get deep. Because we talk about frequencies. We talking about minds that come behind it. And when it's come out, you start playing a certain rhythm with your body, aka like your songs. You get what I'm saying? So now while you're in this universe, instead of you rocking to your own beat or being able to rock wherever you want to and be able to hit these different type of notes, whether they low or whether they high, you always got this person dragging you down with them because they're in a miserable situation. And then these people right here, they won't have the time to sit still, breathe, pause, just wait. They don't have that, right? Because they don't understand patience, because they probably haven't been in situations where they ain't had no choice but to be patient. Or they had no choice but no matter how much they worried, it was nothing they could do about it. So it's like that where they might look at you and they really see you as a strong individual, whether you mentally strong or physically strong, or they see you as like, damn, you got a lot of will, even though stuff don't go on. So in a sense of saying spiritual strong, or saying that you got a lot of ego, that, you know, a lot of times people like to break that. And ego be used as something bad. But in this world where where it's majority bad, sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire, but the correct way. So sometimes you gotta get egotistical to understand, like, man, I'm not even finna interact with you. The shit you talking about is too low level. I'm way the fuck up here. So you gotta understand how to keep yourself spaced away from them people in that type of sense. So if you're gonna look at it from an ego perspective, that's what some might call you. They might be like, yo, you egotistical. But nah, you just know certain shit you're not finna scoot down to. If it's manageable and you could transcend, you already know you could do that. So you're not worried about the end of the day of how to see things in a transparent way, because you could do it. You could look at both sides of something. But at the end of the day, that don't mean you have to take both sides of the shit stick. Like, you don't have to take that shit, bro. Like, it be a lot of mental wars where a motherfucker try to make you feel like you're obligated to do this, but they're not obligated to do shit. Or the person that they're actually feel like is on their levels, they're not obligated to do shit. But due to you already at this level, you already got certain responsibilities, certain shit that they want you to be responsible of, or things like they feel like you should take in. And if you don't, now they're treating you a certain way, but other people or other individuals around them that was on their same level don't have to do the same things that you just had to do. So it get deep. It be like, damn. You know, you can look at yourself and be like, damn, I'm the type of person that do this and do that. And this person over here, they just do this. And they accept it for what they bring. Sometimes that's the reason why, because y'all be on different levels. And that don't mean that you're necessarily on a low or higher level in this type of sense of talking. But at the end of the day, if you is looking at things in a higher way of seeing it, instead of looking down on somebody, so you're not looking at what's wrong with a person or what's wrong with the situation or what's wrong with yourself, you're looking more into what can I do to fix it? You get what I'm saying? Like, fuck what's wrong. What can I do to fix it? Or what can I do to resolve it? And a lot of times people don't like to go through that. So when they experience shit like that, they'll rather run. So this is where you get people that like fear mongers, where they always talking about their fears and they actually running into them, and they be mad at you because you be sitting there like, just walking through the shit that they fear. You know what I mean? In some type of way. It might not even be the way, but a way a person could set their mind, bro, be unbelievable. And that's what we be saying, like, just because you could do it, just because you had the willpower to do this shit, don't make it right. So when we go down to a lot of things, is if you is a vampire or if you is someone that look at shit like that, you got to look at it for what it is. Stop trying to manipulate situations. Start transcending. Maybe that person that you're trying to manipulate so bad, or trying to make look like a bad character in so many ways and stuff like that, maybe that person is just a good character that you need to actually learn from. And instead of you trying to judge from with your side and then bringing it to them, like I said, with the prejudging thing, is because you're already trying to bring a person to the level that you expect them to be at. Go ahead and look past that. Look in a different angle, a higher window, up, upwards one. Not looking down on someone. Look up, point to them, be like, oh, okay, I like the way they handle that. Okay, that's cool. And then it's going to be the person that you're not on this level with. So then you can try to get to this level by looking up to this person in that sense. So then when you get to that level, you don't have to look up to that person no more. Everybody is right there, and no more up. There's no more higher, no more none of that directional shit no more. You feel what I'm saying? So when they get down to these type of talks, it's very nerve-wracking to some people of how it might hit. You know what I'm saying? And it may hit ways that you try to find excuses around it. You try to juggle around it. And this letting you know that you have some type of fear. And if fears, and the way that you was taught is not exactly that way. Because you have fears, right? So like I like to tell people, if you watch the Jimmy Neutron movie, right? When they went to naming all the fears and shit like that, and when they was leaving, when they was escaping out of outer space, when they was trying to go outer space. So they was going in space, and it was explaining when they were going in space, what is within these spaces, what is it within these minds. So when we're looking at within space, that'd be the mind field. The inner will be the physical. The outer space will be the spiritual realm. So when we're looking at all of this, and you can understand allegories, you can understand why is Jimmy Neutron even pushed, why is these certain movies pushed. So getting along with the topic is, when you're looking at these things called fears, and these fears is keeping someone from going to heaven, keeping someone from activating a seventh, eighth, and ninth dimension the correct way. So instead of them being able to come as an angel or being able to see things in higher angles from the person that they're looking up to or the person that they're hating on, they'll rather talk down and cast stones at this person to try to knock this person down, to try to knock this person to their level. You get what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Like knock them down. So when we say higher, lower, in this sense, they're just saying the spiritual realm versus the mental or the physical. Whatever they're hating on you about, it could be something physical or it could be something mental, even when it comes down to that. So the main thing is yes, it's talking about bringing with how others bring you to their level or whatever. But at the end of the day, you still have this interior thing where you have, right, where you have to understand, like, yo, sometimes you're arguing with the dead, or sometimes no matter how much you try to show the world or try to show something, it might not be seen that way. So you can't show it as hard as you want. So you get what I'm saying? You got to know how to bound it, have boundaries for yourself, not to go too hard. But at the same time, you can still be able to be vulnerable, but at the same time, still be able to push out and show that you can take actions towards things and not just be vulnerable all day, or not just take actions. And now you just get around people and they feel like you ain't got no feelings. So now you get developed around people that has no feelings towards things. So remain being yourself at the end of the day. So this is what we mean by the levels. So even if you want to put it in a perspective of, let me just not be around this person or around something else, you can still go to yourself and not be having self battles and shit like that if you don't understand your own shadow work of saying, like, damn, did I actually know myself? Because this person has said it so much and manipulated and shifted and changed and made the prejudge fit the shoe so much, forcing the shoe to actually fit on, to be honest. Because right now, if a person say, hey, you got an anger problem, for example, right? And then this person do stuff to make you angry. That's kind of like that person bring you to that level. That is exactly what it is. See, it's a mental thing where that person might not even realize that's what they're doing because they're already prejudging something. So before you could get to it, or before you even react, you're already known for it. So even if you don't even react at all, it'll be times that you was already, like, the damn judge was like, nah, continuance. You feel what I'm saying? They could have said not guilty because they ain't see enough evidence or nothing. They're like, no, we need more evidence. So now they kind of searching, or you see what I'm saying, the mental realm, searching, and we're not talking about an actual judge, we're talking about mentally, searching for a way, or spiritually, searching for a way to basically searching for evidence against you, right? Trying to make evidence against you, though. You ever seen a dirty cop? That's what type of energy they play with, because it's coming with dirty energy that's coming with a biasness of how they already feel. So it's a judge. I mean, it's an officer that already works for the judge, a dirty cop, but yet he's in the streets, connected, or yet he's dealing with these type of individuals where they feel like, hey, we can still trust you. We didn't know you became a cop or became a rat or whatever, and now it's going to flip on the whole set. So it's that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? How Ice-T used to play in the movies and shit. So this is the type of jump that comes with it, where they might not even realize, hey, this is what they're doing. So, like, that's the reason why we come up with words like agents, because they're working for an organization and not even know what this organization is. They just know how to put in the work by being all this mutant shit, by trying to be what I'm trying to say, goddamn, trying to basically manipulate shit. So when it get down to this, manipulation comes from a motherfucker trying to bring you into their type of space, their way of thinking, their way of seeing things, or the way that they see you. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if they want to see you as a fucked up individual, no matter what your fucked up is, no matter if they want to see that you sleep all day, they're gonna only pop up the times that you sleep. Shit like that. It's like, damn, you ain't say nothing when I was up for a damn 24 hours, but now you're gonna say something that I'm asleep for this long or whatever. So these people, they're like bullies. And that's what I be saying when it come down to a lot of these things. These people be trying to bully you because it's a way of checking you. It's a way of keeping you into this certain box, this certain way of living, this certain way of thinking. They try to mock you out. So you'll never go to the higher. You'll only be mid or lower. So you only could go to their level when they want to be on the same level as you to make it mid. When they trying to up the level with you and now want to talk about the shit you want to talk about. But a lot of times these people do shit like this to be on negotiable energy, to be able to be like, yeah, we agree with each other, right? And as soon as you give them some type of agreement, they ram that shit against the wall against you. I'm telling you, and they're going to use that agreement or whatever, even if you were just saying it to get by. You know what I'm saying? Just saying it to, I'm going to put it like this, because there's two ways you could do this, right? You can just say, yeah, I understand. But it's also a way where you actually understand the side of a person's story. This is when you're not being biased and when you're actually being transparent. So you're like, okay, I understand where this person could have took it from. And sometimes you end up telling that person that you understand where he could have took it from. And now your ass end up giving them points where you didn't see mentally for them. They're like, I'm one up on them, or I got something to fight against them with, because they think they all this or they think they all that. So see, they already looking at you in an egotistical lens no matter what you do. So no matter if you don't be egotistical and be vulnerable as hell, they're going to say something. No matter if you brush your shoulders and walk with the Aries energy, they're going to say something to you. So it's like no matter what you do, like the independency, no matter what you do, they're always going to have a way that they're going to bring you to this level. So this is what we're saying when it comes down to these individuals. Once you stop giving in energy, stop giving in time towards the shit that they want you to do, it don't matter if you even have a mental wars within yourself. It's going to start there first anyway. But once you start fighting that shit within yourself, you already know it's going to start coming out to them in limbo, in reverse. Because now you're going to be like, shit, I don't really give a fuck. Shit, I already knew who you was. You just kept showing who you was multiple times. You didn't try to change. You just try to change the ways you do shit. So yeah, the intentions was for your motherfucking self. And that's what made you feel like it was good. But you ain't think about the intents of others or helping build some shit. Because that's the reason why you're here in the beginning. So a lot of times, it be a motherfucker that's egotistical to themselves. And their ego makes them look at your shit and they be like, damn, this person really on a higher level than me somewhere. So let me try to knock that motherfucker down. Let me try to bring them down to size. And a lot of times, a lot of people like that will like to try to break you. They just want to break you. They just thirst to break you. So then if they break you, they feel like they won a war. So anytime you give them points of saying like, yo, you was right, or you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it comes back, like, they be like, remember this, remember that? And it's like, yo, what the fuck? And it's just to put you in a situation where, hey, regardless now, they done got you to fight this energy, and now you all arguing, and now you ain't even on the thing you was on, or not, even if you ain't argue, now you sitting there thinking about the shit they done said. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, what the fuck? And then they'll be so comfortable with it, they'll start saying shit to try to keep you on a certain level. So they don't realize they actually became agents of the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. So they actually work for the 6th, the Galactic of Light Confederation, which is the motherfuckers that don't want you to get to the actual light. The actual motherfucking LITE, the motherfuckers that want to keep you in the mind and keep you in the body. So when it comes to 6th dimension, they're like, no more beyond it. No beyond these points here. And you be thinking that, you be saying beyond these points like the Area 51, but it's actually talking about like some real shit. Like they got the signs there to show you what they're representing, because they like to draw out their magic. They like to show it, show and tell type shit, right? So when they doing this, you looking at it like, oh, they don't want me to go beyond these limits. Yeah, because they could use your mind. They could give you a mind to get into. They be like, hey, get into this. So they don't care about you getting into it. They really don't. So when you start using a higher mind and stuff like that, they be like, I wonder where this person get their mind from. So now they like, okay, if a person got their own mind, they able to start accessing stuff from their own spirit. So then they just don't want nothing to do with you in that case. But at the end of the day, now if they could get you to the mind realm, they're like, hey, I can make this person look like an example to others. But even though that person in their heart going to know they're not an actual example of something, but we're going to make that person look like this, the shit that you should be obtaining. So it plays out in so many trickeries of how they could use spaceships to put somebody in. You get what I'm saying? To make a person feel like, okay, I like this car. It's fast. It ride good on gas and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? This spaceship or whatever. But really, it's stuck. It got a governor on it where it can't leave out of this dimension. And so the fact that the GPS that you're seeing, it don't even mention that damn dimension. You're like, damn, it's showing everything in the mental realm. And what I mean by the GPS, it's just saying like your position to be able to spectate in different locations, right? So instead of you just spectating all the time from just your body, being able to go back to that spiritual screenshot I was trying to explain on the other video and now be able to grab the actual camera that's actually recording or that's actually looking at things. And the reason why I'm saying camera is just to say that, hey, you're looking at shit without using eyes and stuff like that. So when we looking through a lens of something, so that is another bright idea of saying it. So when we looking at it, we can see what it actually is. Because we come with certain lens on. What if we come with funny lens on? So now when we're looking at the situation, of course it look funny. So that's when you know that you're in too much of prejudging energy, that you may be dropping people to your level and lowering other people where they're trying to transcend or trying to lift your ass up and you steady pulling them down. Instead of you being light on the load, you being extra heavy with baggage and stuff that nobody wants. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when a person trying to take flight, it's like the plane too heavy now. They can't fly. So even if you're one of these individuals, sometimes you got to just separate yourself from a motherfucker that you feel like keep trying to pull you down to their level. Bro, it was a lot to get out through this video, but it was a lot of points I wanted to get out because it's a lot of angles, the way you can see these things. And a lot of times we have to bring all these angels in because we know we're going to a damn demon world to fight these things, right? And we have to have these angles because these motherfuckers be having excuses, wonder energy, where they go whoop, 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 whoop. They got like motherfucking Muhammad Ali bobbing skills, where soon effects come, they whoop, 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 like they weave out the way of that shit. So at the end of the day, we got to know how to make that motherfucker like a heat seeker, where every time you move, that bitch clocking your ass. Bam. Nah, you ain't running from this. Bam. Bam. You ain't running from this direct arrow. Bam. The point, the purpose. Bam. The intent. Bam. The love. Bam. The hate. Or whatever. Bam. You trying to hit somebody with. You can't stop it, right? Because you're going to make, even though you're trying to hit somebody with love arrows, sometimes the way they look at love is all hate. So you might be shooting them, and them bitches might be hit, and you're like, damn, why this person ain't falling in love yet? And that motherfucker just in a hated-ass energy. So speaking of that, we got this damn Cupid shit finna come up and all this. Valentine's Day and all this stuff about to come up anyway, right? Where a lot of people don't understand the allegories of stuff like that. They don't even understand why is Cupid represented as like the Prince Charming little boy or the nice little baby or the New Year's baby. Then it turn around to be the demon child, the Lucifer baby or whatever. Because at the end of the day, people don't understand allegories. So instead of the person being able to understand that from a spiritual perspective, they go along with these books and try to learn from that instead of being able to spectate and be able to see the whole worldview from one perspective. So instead of you being one zodiac of a sun sign, no, you could be all of the sun signs. And it sounds crazy, but that's just saying you can learn how to take that sun and actually rotate it. And not saying you can rotate the planets, but you can rotate the shit that's under the sun. Rotate the shifts in your life where something is happening at in your life. So this would be considered as houses, and as astrologers would say, right? So this is talking about where to act things out in. Because sometimes people be acting out in the wrong areas and be attacking the wrong motherfuckers or attacking the wrong shit when it be something within them, but they attack people on the outside or stuff like that. So at the end of the day, there's levels to it. And when you don't reach the level of highest intellect of what we call, like right now, being able to receive things of this world without knowing of it by saying, I read this book or I seen this movie, but being able to come up with the ideas of how something was created in the beginning, you're going to have hate because you're reaching a level where a lot of motherfuckers will probably never reach in this lifetime, where they have to die a couple more times. And I hate to be that broad, but it's just what it is, where they have to die a couple more times before they can realize what's going on. Because why? They don't want to accept it. So when it comes down to certain things of acceptance, these people don't have that. So they go out of Lucifer energy, where they don't want to accept Jesus and Lord as their Savior in this type of sense, where they won't just nothing but, yeah, this is what we want because I love this, I like this, and this is what I want for myself. So they overindulge into selfish energies, but say that it's love. So even the things that they love around them, they can't see it as love. They see it as a hate. So it go inverted of what they was trying to push out when a motherfucker was shooting them with love arrows and how they was just making it like it was hate. It'd be the same way. Now they sitting there shooting motherfucking arrows as they thought had a heart on the end, but that bitch really got the devil tail at the end, a spear at the end, where they really hurting the individuals that they shooting their spears at, and they're not trying to give them a love connection. So it get real tricky when you have demons out here, and it get real, how I'm gonna say, real tricky, right? Where they can make stuff, like, and they study getting tricky. They try to make stuff look as in this look the same. Like, duh, we're in the same realm of reality. But at the end of the day, how is a person attacking angles? Is they looking at it from a higher perspective? You know what I'm saying? Or is they looking at it from a lower perspective all the time? And you got to kind of uplift them. No. So when you're looking at that, you got to realize this is what it means when this person say they're, or don't get brought down to a person level, or don't let nobody bring you down to their level, because this shit get real. And once you're on their level, you don't have access to those higher powers that you had. You don't have that now. Now you have lower waters, lower tides, and shit barely getting movement. Shit barely working the way that you want it to work. So now your emotions becoming dry to the wrong shit. And now it might go out, like I tell people, now you might start changing who you is and start reflecting into the wrong people. Now we just living in a world where one motherfucker fucked up one motherfucker, and he went and tagged a whole bunch of other motherfuckers, or she went and tagged a whole bunch of other people, and that's a whole bunch of rotten apples. Because when the vein was growing, instead of us cutting that goddamn vein that had that rotten fruit on it, we don't let that rotten fruit get to the whole tree of what we're trying to grow and go. So now we probably got to cut the whole fucking tree down and start over. So at the end of the day, we do got to understand being responsible for even being spiritual. For being able to even be able to activate the power, bro. It comes with so much. And that's just what it is at the end of the day. So that's about all I'm going to say for this video, because, man, I go on hours for this, you know what I'm saying, and show the different ways of just how motherfuckers try to manipulate shit. And no matter what you do, if a person got a dirty mind, bro, they can't see shit right. And a lot of times they like to take that for everything. Like, nah, what we mean by dirty mind is you can't see shit the right way. It's like somebody always throwing sand in your eye. Your minds is called eyes in certain books and shit too. That's the reason why. Because if you can't see straight, you ain't gonna know how to use this motherfucker the right way. So you might not know how to use your little Cupid energy. You might be thinking you showing love and you really showing hate. Then be showing hate towards showing hate towards the motherfuckers you should love, and then showing love towards the motherfuckers you should hate. And find excuses or anything like that to like I said, the wondering shit that be bobbing and weaving to fulfill whatever you got going on. And that's when it turned to Lucifer energy. Because you're trying to do all this shit out of your own fulfillment for deep, dark shit that don't got nothing to do with nobody else. Just all on something that you or the person that's trying to bring you to their level wanted to see you as. And that shit be crazy, man. That shit be crazy. You know how, let me give y'all another example before I go. I just can't help it. Give you one on a race tip, right? You know how when you go into something, you got the racial. All right, man. God darn. This junk it's always something, y'all. Not something out of memory. But anyway, like I was saying, so even when it comes out of racing profile and stuff like that, of how a person to try to bring you to their level, of saying like, hey, you go into a store as a black person and they expect you to get angry. Or when you go somewhere as a white person, they might not expect you to defend yourself aggressively. Or even as, like, you get what I'm saying? Y'all get the point. So when you go to this place and you act out in that manner, it's almost like them individuals are like, I told you they was going to do it. I knew they was going to do it. I knew they had it in them. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. So it'll even play on different levels of how they train a mind to think this type of way. So that's basically what I wanted to get out. That's just crazy. I only wanted to get out that extra 40 seconds just to show it's so many different levels of how these motherfuckers try to operate. So when we seeing things, it might sound like we're repeating ourselves, or angels, or the way that you repeat it to your mind, because you have to have that type of routine and pattern. Because if you don't, you're going to take in whatever they're giving you, whatever routine they're giving you, and the routine they're getting you is to get you more and more lost the older you get. So if you're talking to somebody 80, it's probably harder for them to get woke than a 20-year-old or a 16-year-old. And that's because their mind is more conditioned, and they don't see that. So the more they don't work, the more they done took advice from these type of people, or let these people authorize them. They don't know how to be in their own authority. So they get mad when another person has a higher intellect than them, or even have more in life. Sometimes a motherfucker just be that fucked up. It could be in the hood, and a motherfucker just try to tear you down physically. Where they see that you got cars and all this, and now they just want to rob you and shoot you and kill you just because they can't hustle, because they can't get it out the mud like you do. You know what I mean? So we got to understand as hustlers, or understand as a motherfucker that know how to build and reconstruct and all that. Sometimes you got to stay away from these motherfuckers, man, because they'll sit there and destroy. They don't know how to be a god of creation. They only know how to be gods of destructions. Goddamn Lord Beerus head ass, Dragon Ball Z head ass people. So at the end of the day, we got to watch out for these motherfuckers, man. They be snakes in the grass sometimes, and a person don't realize how quick they trying to come, and they'll scoot you to their level just to be able to bite you. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. Cause you be already on a list where you might not even realize it. You don't walk, you don't can this individual. They already got 15 things they thinking about you, how you finna react, what you finna do, and all that. It be deep out here, man. So be careful. And if you're an individual, stop doing that. Stop doing that shit. Stop making standards for a person that you think that they're gonna react and all of this and that there. Just wait until they do it sometimes. God damn, sometimes just wait. All the procrastination energy and trying to build worries and shit, that lets you know you're an insecure individual. And what we mean is by you having all those securities on the outside of not having this happen, you done took it in your body. So now you can't see it from the outside because it's in you now. So you can't see your organs, can you? So now you done made it part of your digestive system. Now you done made it part of your routine from the nerve system. So now this is what strikes you as a damn person and an individual, what you feel like damn near comfortable to you. Got to break that shit. And that's what I mean by like a routine, because it's something where you're ready to go back to and ready to continue doing over. And it's fucked up, man. But anyways, man, that's all I'm going to say about this subject. And you know, we'll have part 2s and all in the future. Because one thing about this spiritual shit, it never ends, bro. That's the beauty of being able to do these videos. We always going to have these damn humans showing their ass. You get what I'm saying? But we do got to show them the right way. So it'd be like how y'all be seeing the Babylonian times. Y'all see like the gods helping the humans, like how they did the Hercules movie and shit like that. So it'd be that type of stuff where we trying and they casting stones at us, and then sometimes we got to fight back and shit like that. And I'm not saying we gods at all. Hell no. What I'm saying is, you know, gods and all that is already too many. And let you know God supposed to be one. That's when we all back as one in that type of sense of not getting too lost if you can't understand what I'm saying. But anyways, man, I'm out. OG Trip.